got live people. Let me start with the statement, Kenny, or questions, or it's good to be out in front of our fans. For our guys, practicing against each other every day for what turns out will be 6 weeks. It's only been 2.5 weeks to this point. It becomes for those guys monotonous. For coaches, not. But it's good to be in front of our fans. Obviously we got a lot of work to do. But my main goal of not getting anybody hurt was accomplished. And that's all I care about when we're going preseason scrimmage in terms of what we're trying to get out of it. So, again, we got a lot of things we have to clean up on both ends of the floor. It's tough when you go inter-squad scrimmage because, the way we want to play with our pace, you don't have many subs. You maybe have one scholarship player on your side. So we're in a much better position where, years past we'd had 3 or 4 scholarship players on each side. But, no, I thought we played quickly. I thought some of our decisions need to be better. We're a better shooting team than that. This is the first time we've gotten in the Center all year, hour before the scrimmage started, just because of the scoreboard they're putting up. But all good. So questions? Hey, Jerry.
First one is, who surprised you in today's scrimmage, and were you happy with the pace of play, the way they got up and down the floor?
Yeah, again, I thought Matt Cross was really good. I think a lot of times people think of Matt as a guy that just shooter only, and did a great job of eyeing the rim, baiting closeouts, finishing at the basket. He's a strong kid and he can really, really shoot, which our players know that. So their closeouts were a little bit more aggressive, and he took advantage of it. Malik, despite his shooting percentage, he just does so much for us defensively. I thought he was really good. So. It was a good day. I think the pace was good. Guys got tired, and we don't really have the substitution ability that we would in games. But I thought our pace was pretty good. The first 4 or 5 minutes of the scrimmage, it wasn't very good. I don't know if it was the first time just being in front of fans. Guys lost their oxygen in the first 2 or 3 minutes. But I thought after that they settled in, and for the most part it was where we wanted to be.
And how close was what we saw, what you've been seeing all practice?
Well, I think that it's a work in progress. It just is. We're asking those guys to really push the ball, make decisions on the fly, be great in pick and roll. And generally they're going to play 3, 4, 5 minutes, and they're going to get a sub. Today it's like Jared West, hardly came out. So got to make a little bit better decisions with the basketball. Thought the pace was decent. It's a little bit easier when you're in practice to be on them, to have that same type of pace. But I don't worry about that. We'll get that as time goes forward. Well, I think it's up to our players to figure out the spots in our offense to set themselves up to get a good look. Whether that's a drive. Matt Cross did it today. There were a lot of guys in positions that Matt was in today, and he took advantage of it. A quick eye of the rim, a good little fake, got him into the lane and got him finishing at the basket. Some of the other guys have to figure out how to pull those opportunities out of our offense. Some of our big guys, because of our ball screen defensive coverage, caught the ball in short roll situations right below the foul line. They've got to be able to convert like JJ did a couple times. They've got to be able to spray out like Gabe did a couple times. And depending on how people are covering our ball screen action, we'll have different solutions in terms of attacking it. We tend to be aggressive. We tend to be aggressive on ball screen coverage, so that's the type of coverage that we're going to see in a scrimmage. But we know we're going to see all different types throughout the year.
Chris, how is L coming along? Coming from junior college. I mean, obviously out there he can make some jaw-dropping plays.
Yeah, I thought L was up and down in the scrimmage. I would say that his preseason's been a lot of the same. It's great to have a guy like Jared who's so solid and stable, and can really teach him how to run a team. L's very, very dynamic. I think you saw a stretch where, he got to the rim on a few occasions, got his secondary defender in the air and dumped it off easy for a dunk. And he's going to do plays like that. He's a better scorer, I think, than he showed today. Defensively, he's got a long way to go. He's got to be able to harass the other team's point guard. He's got to be able to, bully over the top of ball screens. He's got to fight harder when he gets mismatched in the post. And he's got to figure out, how to stop the other team in transition. I think one of the times he picked up Jared at 16 feet, and Jared stopped and shot a pull-up three in transition, which, shouldn't be an easy look if you're doing your job defensively. So he's got a lot of areas he's got to improve. And the great thing is he's a smart kid. He recognizes that. He's playing in a system that demands accountability, but he's coming along. He's got things he can't teach.
Chris, what did you think about the overall play and aggressiveness out of the 5 spot? Malik Williams looked like he was playing, injury pretty fresh and running up and down the court, and plus Sidney Curry got involved several times in offensive putbacks and on the glass and such.
Yeah, we got a lot of options at the 5. We may not have outside of Malik an experienced guy at that position, but we have a lot of options, and each of them give us a little bit different look. Gabe is really cerebral when it comes to understanding our offense, how to get himself open. I thought the pass he made out to the perimeter on that short roll was a really, really good read. Started off the scrimmage with a jump hook over his left shoulder. JJ really good in the mid-range. He's got to do a better job rebounding the ball. Sid can rebound. He doesn't get moved off his spot. Roosevelt's just a freshman. He's got a lot to learn, including just being an everyday guy. But he's no different than a lot of freshmen, that have to grow. But we have a lot of options at that position. They've got to be able to defend and rebound their position. And I don't know if they could be around a better mentor than Malik Williams in terms of understanding his role, having a voice, teaching the guys. Malik does a terrific job. Yeah, it's a lot of length on the floor, and if Jalen makes really good decisions on the perimeter, when he drives his man and he's strong with the ball and he's finishing at the rim, he's a load, he's 6'8", but he has to be able to be consistent for us in that. He's practiced the entire preseason as a perimeter player. With that becomes perimeter responsibility and accountability of being strong with the ball and not being loosey-goosey and losing the ball on drives and making errant passes. He was clearly better today than his bad moments when he's had those in practice. If he can have really consistent moments for us as a perimeter player, he is a tough matchup in the post. He obviously led us in rebounding today. He's shot the ball really well from the 3 in the preseason, and he opens up a lot of possibilities for our team if he's playing consistent. Thanks, guys.